Ever since I awakened my soft Rice King talent, not only did the spiders bow down to me under my pomegranate skirt, even their boss, Spider Sister, was conquered by me. With Spider Sister as my backing, those who used to be arrogant in front of me now only end up scared out of their wits. But since I've been calling Spider Sister for so long, I should give her a name. Since you seem to like chirping so much, I'll call you Little Chirp. At that moment, Lin Xiaoyan suddenly appeared, handing me a talisman. I saw that it was a blue talisman of excellent quality, able to withstand one fatal blow, and this item requires 40 points to obtain, and this woman only has a total of 40 points. Is she stupid? She actually used all her points to thank me. I didn't expect there would be such a naive person in this world. Looks like I should help her out in the future, so she owes me a favor or two. Now it's time to set off. At the beginning, everyone rushed forward desperately, trying to grab exploration points. The triangular markers on the map indicate the players' locations, the circular markers are the bases, the blue areas are already explored, and the dark areas are unexplored. Everyone is fiercely competing for exploration points. But when there was no one around for miles, I directly summoned Big Sis Little Chirp. Big Sis Little Chirp's speed, obtaining exploration points was like taking candy from a baby. Big Sis Little Chirp and I cleared a path on the map. Others thought it was a system bug, but they didn't expect Big Sis Little Chirp to carry me and run 5 kilometers just to earn 1 point of exploration points, and we didn't even encounter any monsters nearby. If you calculate it like this, the scale of this map is simply outrageous. I feel like this mission will last a long time, and I'll have to consider the issue of surviving in the wilderness. These goblins are trying to reproduce more goblins. A fully grown female pig weighing 200 kilograms was arrested. Initially, I was just watching from the tree and didn't want to intervene. Moreover, their attributes were very low and they had little experience. But suddenly I received a mission to ambush the goblins. I can't refuse the free points given for that. I asked Little Chirp to launch a surprise attack when the goblins were eating and drinking without any guard. In front of Little Chirp, these goblins were like leeks, waiting to be harvested. The goblins had no choice but to flee. At this moment, one goblin secretly blew a distress signal horn. In a moment, the goblin army arrived. The goblins that came this time were different from the ones before. They were all fully armed. The forest goblins were overpowered, hostile. Even if Little Chirp was very powerful, she couldn't withstand the large number of goblins. This won't work if it continues like this. I need to find a way to leave with Little Chirp first. Just as a new wave of goblins arrived, and these goblins were good at tracking, it seems difficult to escape easily. I quickly opened the shopping assistant to see if there were any items that could help me safely evacuate. The first item is a smoke pot, which emits a large fog with a radius of 100 meters for 60 seconds. However, this feels more suitable for offensive purposes. The next item is a teleportation scroll that can instantly teleport to the farthest safe zone, 1,000 meters away, but it requires 10 seconds of preparation time. This looks quite suitable, and it only costs 2 points. I directly purchased the teleportation scroll, although it takes 10 seconds to activate, but the advantage lies in being cheap. Little Chirp, you have to hold on for 10 seconds. Countdown is over. In the blink of an eye, I teleported to the safe zone. After using the teleportation item, we were randomly teleported away. Little Chirp was a bit disappointed with this failure, but I have already figured out how to get revenge. I opened the map to check our current location. Unexpectedly, we just encountered the goblin's location. Clearly, it was supposed to be an explored area, but it suddenly turned dark. Indeed, the rules of the ancient god are not that simple. We have found the nearby goblin camp. Get ready to sneak attack their hideout while those guarding goblins are out for support. Coincidentally, we triggered a mission to destroy the goblin frontline stronghold. Now we've made some gains. I used some points to exchange for 10 incendiary bullets. I sent Little Chirp to conduct guerrilla warfare using her speed. Little Chirp took the incendiary bullets and effortlessly burned the camp to the ground. After a night of effort, we have earned 68 points. At this rate, we can buy upgrade potions in 2 more days. But now we've thoroughly angered them. We'll wait until we have better equipment before we strike back. Suddenly, Little Chirp noticed some movement nearby. It turned out to be Wei Kai. Looks like he joined a team with someone else, and his attributes have improved significantly after strengthening his equipment, almost like leveling up. At this moment, a goblin attacked them. Wei Kai easily defeated the goblin with one swing of his sword, even faster than Little Chirp. But then Little Chirp's panel showed a jealous state, where she can deliver a one-hit kill to anyone with lower attributes. And Wei Kai is quite vengeful. If he has a chance, he will definitely retaliate against us crazily. In that case, we can't let this guy go. Never provoke any maternal creatures, or you might not even know how you died. Originally, I just said that Wei Kai's sword speed might be faster than Little Chirp's. But after hearing this, Little Chirp got jealous and charged up without saying a word. Before Wei Kai could react, Little Chirp beheaded him with a snap. Luke Ecchi saw this and quickly warned everyone to be on guard, but Little Chirp's momentum made everyone tremble with fear and unable to resist. Luke Ecchi also knows that Wei Kai's equipment bonus is so high, but it was easily defeated by Little Chirp's attack. Therefore, it is certain that Luke Ecchi is not a formidable opponent either, but Little Chirp didn't intend to attack again. After dealing with Wei Kai, she immediately left. Luke Ecchi saw the situation and immediately pretended to shout at the monster. "If you kill my teammate, we will be enemies forever." The teammate thought that Luke Ecchi scared the monster away and got excited immediately. But in reality, Luke Ecchi was almost scared to collapse on the ground. On the third day, a couple in the forest was being chased by goblins. Unexpectedly, the man being chased by goblins turned on his own wife to save himself. He shot his wife in the leg and handed her over to the goblins alive. But he couldn't escape in the end. As the days passed, fewer and fewer people were on the adventure leaderboard. With the passage of time, the areas that had been explored were occupied by goblins again and became darker. If this continues for a long time, food will become a problem. At this moment, Little Chirp suddenly picked up a goblin. The panel prompted that although goblin meat is delicious and nutritious, it will cause great terror after consumption. What kind of terror is that? The system is still playing dumb with me. Seeing that Little Chirp was about to eat it, I quickly stopped her. "Little Chirp, you can't eat that." After staying in the forest for a few days, I ran out of food. I wanted to ask the store to recommend some wilderness survival rations for me, but the store recommended me some absurd rations. Dragon liver and phoenix gall cost over 60,000 points for one serving. I set the filter to show options below 5 points, but the result was low-quality potions. Using one can keep you from eating for 10 days, but it also costs 5 points. If I calculate it, I will need 30 points in 2 months. That's still a lot. But then I suddenly remembered, I have a talent that fits perfectly. Looking at those people who can only buy low-quality pills, while I happily munch on grass on the side, I was originally worried that the taste of this grass would be difficult to eat, but unexpectedly, with my talent for garbage bin, this grass has turned into a delicious dish. People around me see me eating grass and think I'm starving and crazy. After eating and drinking enough, earning points is easy and powerful. After observing in secret for a few days, quietly eliminating a regiment of goblin regular army as set up by Little Chirp's sister, I can earn 20 points. But the strength of these goblin regular soldiers is not weak. Although Little Chirp's sister can still handle them, the panel has already indicated that Little Chirp's sister is now a little overwhelmed. It seems that I need to improve my strength. Just then, I suddenly felt an increase in my mental power. Now my mental power has reached its limit. Finally, I can use my points to purchase upgrade potions for leveling up. With Little Chirp's sister, I went to the store and bought a level 0 upgrade potion that can only be exchanged for 200 points. Not a drop can be wasted. After drinking it, I immediately felt my thinking speed increase and my eyesight become sharper. I also clearly felt that the connection between me and Little Chirp's sister became closer. I opened the system after upgrading. I gained a skill point. I can learn a vocational skill or upgrade my monster contract talent. Although upgrading the monster contract talent can contract another monster, I haven't encountered a monster as powerful as Little Chirp yet, so I'll learn a skill first. Then I gained a level 0 morale boost skill. The skill effect can enhance the strength and agility of a contracted monster by 1 point, lasting for 60 seconds. Can be used 5 times a day. This enhancement is not small. At a critical moment, it might change the situation. After upgrading, the level 0 mental training technique is useless, so I spent 60 points to buy the level 1 mental training technique. I clearly felt that the leveling speed of level 1 is much faster than level 0. By the way, I'll see what other items I can exchange with the remaining points, then I'll continue to brush monsters with Little Chirp's sister. As I keep grinding monsters day and night in the forest, I have become the archenemy of all goblins. Now they kill humans on sight. By chance, I encountered a goblin in the forest who was about to attack a mother and daughter. Fortunately, I intervened in time and had Little Chirp's sister save them. The mother and daughter were incredulous, wondering why the spider monster in the first level would save them, while Luke Ecchi's goblin stronghold, which was planned for a surprise attack, had already been taken by me and Little Chirp's sister in advance. Luke Ecchi was puzzled about who had taken their stronghold in advance, but when he saw it was Little Chirp's sister, he was scared out of his wits and immediately ordered his team to hide. He realized that Little Chirp's sister was even stronger than before, and even if his whole team attacked together, they might not be opponents. A group of goblins fell easily under Little Chirp's sister's scythe. as simple as cutting leeks. Although Ecchi was very scared, he still pretended to be calm in front of his team, finding an excuse to say that Little Chirp's sister might be a special elite monster sent by the ancient gods, and it was not time to take action yet. The team believed it and praised their captain for his strategic foresight. In these days, as Little Chirp's sister's reputation spread in the forest, those who were saved by her were grateful and thought of her as a divine aid sent by the ancient gods. But because Little Chirp's sister kept taking away the goblin team's points from the forest, it also caused some dissatisfaction among certain people. But no matter what, it was Little Chirp's sister who gradually helped us stand firm and prevented the goblins from advancing their stronghold. No matter how famous Little Chirp's sister is, I am just a weak chicken little boy hiding behind her. These days, I have been grinding monsters tirelessly, and I have accumulated 60 points. After leveling up, I found out that the maximum distance I can let Little Chirp's sister leave me has increased to 500 meters. At this moment, a mission treasure chest suddenly appeared in front of me, congratulating me for completing the achievement of killing 10 goblins within 1 minute. I received a rare purple quality treasure chest. I was about to open it to see what rewards were inside, but my hand was stopped by the treasure chest. Then the system prompted, the treasure chest can only be opened at the stronghold. And a reminder again, the achievement Forest Goblin's Enemy, Novice has been activated. The Forest Goblin Shaman has formed a joint force to hunt you down. I estimated that the normal team would have about 10 people before. It seems that this joint force is going to be a big one. Day 18. Under the moonlight, the Goblin Shaman is performing a ritual. There is a group of goblin warriors riding on horseback in the Forest Goblin tribe. They cruelly train the centaurs to obey them. The goblins riding on horseback will have increased attributes. Under the call of the Goblin Shaman, they have gathered an elite cavalry force to hunt us down, but I have already made various preparations to deal with it. I have prepared some items and discussed tactics with Little Chirp's sister. We have been exploring around these 2 days and finally found a place suitable for setting traps. Little Chirp's sister has set up spider silk traps within a radius of 300 meters, so as long as someone approaches Little Chirp's sister, we can immediately sense it. I have also prepared a teleportation scroll with 5 points for emergency retreat. Now, Little Chirp's sister suddenly sensed someone approaching nearby. I want to see how powerful the team specially formed to hunt me down is. I saw a group of goblin cavalry riding on horseback. These human-horse hybrids are at level 1, and their mental power is 0 due to the cruel training by goblins, but their agility attribute is extremely high. Goblins have extremely high attributes when they are in a combined state with human horses. The system reminds me that it is best to separate goblins and human horses. Hint, elite among elites have always been the elite. Then a system task appeared again. Eliminate all forest goblin joint forces and earn 20 points. I didn't expect there to be cavalry this time. It seems that I need to use the morale boosting skill right from the beginning. With the bonus from morale boosting, Little Chirp's sister jumped up. But due to the high agility of the human horses, Little Chirp's sister's attack was dodged. The goblin immediately counterattacked upon seeing this. But with the bonus from morale boosting, as long as Little Chirp's sister is not completely surrounded, she can retreat safely. I saw the goblin cavalry step into the trap one by one. I quickly had Little Chirp cut the spider silk and release the trap. The huge stones that had already been arranged with spider silk on the tree all fell down, crushing the goblin cavalry, causing them to fall off their horses. Then, Little Chirp took advantage of the situation and killed all the goblin cavalry with one strike. I thought I had finally dealt with them successfully, but when I checked the system panel, it did not indicate that the mission was completed. At that moment, the Goblin Shaman suddenly appeared behind Little Chirp. Just as he was about to attack Little Chirp, I hastily recalled Little Chirp. The Goblin Shaman's attack directly shattered the ground into pieces. Fortunately, I recalled Little Chirp in time, otherwise Little Chirp, who was hit by the attack, would have been seriously injured. However, this also exposed my position. The attributes of the Goblin Shaman, enhanced by the secretary and equipped with stealth skills, made him a formidable forest goblin. Little Chirp had no way to confront him with brute force. I saw the Goblin Shaman disappear again. I quickly took out a teleportation scroll before he approached me, and activated the town portal scroll to leave. As I watched the escaping Goblin Shaman, who was unwillingly roaring in anger, I teleported back to the city. Upon returning to the city, I found that many people had returned from their explorations. At this moment, I saw Ecchi's team passing by in front of me. Seeing Ecchi wearing high-quality equipment, I admired him for not only exploiting his team members, but also making them wholeheartedly follow him. I deliberately found a corner with no one around, ready to open the treasure chest and see if I could get any items to increase my combat power. I saw a flash of purple light, arranged in the order of ancient, white, blue, purple, and red levels. This time, it opened a purple rare quality box, and inside was a pill. According to the system prompt, consuming this pill can transform the user into a different existence. But there was no change in myself, belonging to level 5 illusion LV5. Duration, 24 hours. Can be detected by prophecy skills of level 5 or higher. With this, can I just sneak into the goblin team and stab the shaman's waist? However, there is still one major problem, which is the language barrier with the goblins. I use the store assistant to search for translation candies. After using them, I can communicate fluently with goblins, but I don't plan to buy them from the store assistant because it consumes charges. After all, people are already at the base. I can just go directly to the store to buy them. Day 26 of exploration. The shaman led a large goblin army to hunt down humans in the forest. They were searching for my tracks everywhere in the forest. As soon as they encountered humans, they would eliminate them without hesitation. Luckily, I encountered a lone goblin in the forest. I took the opportunity to eliminate him as Little Chirp, and then took the pill to pretend to be a goblin and infiltrate the team. Although there was no change in appearance, in their eyes, I looked just like them. I pretended to meet a formidable enemy and let them blow the horn. At this moment, upon hearing the horn, the shaman rushed towards us. The shaman asked us where the enemy and the detestable spider were. I casually pointed to a location to divert the excess soldiers. As expected, the shaman ordered the cavalry to chase after them. I checked his panel and found that he was not using any secret technique enhancements, so his attributes were not high at the moment. So it was the perfect time for a sneak attack. I pretended to report an important piece of information to the shaman. The shaman did not have any precautions against me at this time and allowed me to approach and report. This gave me the perfect opportunity. When I approached enough, Little Chirp immediately took action. Before the shaman could react, he fell to the ground and couldn't get up. At this moment, the goblin soldiers also reacted. I quickly used the skill to boost morale for Little Chirp. With the attribute boost from the fallen shaman, Little Chirp easily dealt with these soldiers. In a moment, Little Chirp had taken care of all the soldiers in front of us. This morale boosting skill is really useful. I can't wait for the third skill. Unfortunately, it takes until level 5 to unlock. At this point, the remaining 2 goblins threaten fearfully. You've killed so many of us goblins, and the gods will curse you for it. I couldn't believe that these goblins were actually scared enough to use such low-level tricks. But suddenly, a system prompt popped up. You have successfully defeated the Goblin United Forces and achieved the achievement, Goblin's Enemy Intermediate. Obtained Agatha's treasure chest. The achievement Goblin's Enemy Intermediate is now in effect. You have been regarded as the #1 enemy by the Forest Goblin Great Shaman. It seems that this hatred value is indeed a curse. And there's also the Great Shaman. Just by listening, they are at least 2 levels stronger than ordinary shamans. Those 2 goblins thought I was scared since I didn't react. But since that's the case, why don't I come up with a way to completely eradicate the forest goblins? I asked the 2 goblins a few questions and threatened them. As long as you answer honestly, I will give you a quick and painless death. After all, I'm not a demon. In the ancient god's stronghold, Ecchi gathered the major powerhouses for a meeting. Ecchi said, I believe everyone has noticed that the strength of the forest goblins has increased significantly recently. At this point, Leijing stood up and said, so what? As monsters become stronger, we are also getting stronger. Other powerhouses also responded, but Ecchi believed that things were not that simple. During his exploration, Ecchi triggered a main quest. He shared the quest with the other 4 people. The main quest was to clean up the forest goblins. The goal was to destroy the Goblin Thunder Tribe and the Forest Goblin Altar. But Xingqi believed that Ecchi had ulterior motives and proposed that Ecchi lead the team. Ecchi saw through Xingqi's thoughts and proposed forming a team in council mode. The other 2 powerhouses also agreed to form a team in council mode. But Yumin declared in advance that if the so-called council violated my beliefs, I would withdraw immediately. Ecchi also promised that the council would be free to come and go without bothering anyone. In the forest, I rely on the strength in Little Chirp. The goblin team led by the shaman was completely wiped out. To prevent them from spreading the news that I can transform into a goblin. In the depths of the forest, there is an altar belonging to the Thunder Tribe. The altar is guarded by the most powerful goblin shaman. As long as this altar exists, goblins will continue to be born. At this time, I also received a main quest from the ancient god. The main quest is to destroy the Thunder Tribe and the altar. Because representatives from all tribes have been sent to the Thunder Tribe due to the shaman's summons, I took the opportunity to disguise myself as a goblin and infiltrate the team. However, there was a goblin in the team who took an interest in me. He claimed to be familiar with the Great Shaman and offered to take me to meet him. I glanced at the character panel and realized he was a lecherous goblin. It seems that my talent as a soft rice king is working. After dark, all the goblins went to sleep, but the lecherous goblin took the opportunity to have ideas about me. Just as he was about to steal my rabbit, I directly summoned Little Chirp's sister. At this moment, a flash appeared in the distance. Before I could take action, someone shot an arrow at us. The lecherous goblin was hit by the arrow. Could it be that there is an ancient god warrior with archery skills sniping here? Before I could figure out the situation, a rain of arrows came towards us. One by one, the goblins still sleeping were taken care of. I quickly took out a defensive item to defend myself. Fortunately, I activated the shield in time to resist. However, this arrow actually consumed 2% of my shield's energy, and the sniper has locked onto me. Unless I use teleportation, I won't be able to shake him off. But Little Chirp's sister doesn't seem to have plans to escape. Since that's the case, how can I run away without even fighting? I prepared to boost morale with Little Chirp's sister, but the enemy's attack suddenly stopped. That's when I vaguely saw that it was actually a centaur ambushing us. And she's a centaur girl. She was hesitating between attacking and not attacking. It seems that my talent as a soft rice king is working. I quickly opened the shop and bought 10 translation candy beans at once. I don't know why she has such a deep hatred towards goblins. After eating the candy beans, I quickly stopped the centaur girl. I don't want to die unjustly. The centaur girl was stunned when she heard me speaking their language. I followed by deceiving her into thinking that I am also a centaur. It's because of the malicious curse of the forest goblins that I turned into this form. It's probably because of Soft Rice King's talent. She actually believed what I said, and her status panel also turned friendly. I explained to her that I infiltrated a team of forest goblins to seek revenge. Centaur's sister also felt sympathy for me, but Little Chirp's sister beside her became jealous. Centaur's sister looked at Little Chirp's sister next to me. I quickly introduced him as the Little Chirp's sister with whom I made a contract. Centaur's sister then grabbed Little Chirp's sister's hand to express her gratitude. It seems that this centaur's personality is frank. Unlike Spider's sister's deep affection for me, this centaur pities me more, but it's convenient to use his hatred for goblins. I asked Centaur's sister where her people are, so that we can seek revenge together. But at this moment, the Centaur sister's expression darkened. Gone. Family, friends, tribe, all gone. I didn't expect that the centaur I saw riding the goblin had already been wiped out because the centaur tribe was destroyed.